What's good? What's good? We are back. Another live from Fayettenam Friday. Appreciate anybody that's tuning in right now on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, like every Friday, we got nothing but guest interviews. And looks like our guest is about to come on here real soon. I see his screen just popped up, but I don't see his camera. Okay, there he goes. So before I bring on the guest, I want to tell a quick little story. When I was like 16 years old, I was on a run from the police, and we only had like three cassette singles in our possession the whole time we was on a run. One of them was like a King T Way Out There single. I think the other one was Boogeyman, not Boogie Monsters, but Boogeyman. And the other one we played over and over and over again, and that was the Rottin Rascals. Oh yeah. So let me bring them on right now, the one and only Diesel from the Rottin Rascals. Diesel, what's good, man?
What up, Paul? How
What how
you,
you I'm
bro?
doing good. How you doing tonight? Can you hear me?
Too blessed to complain, man. Everything's a blessing, bro. You know we here. Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You hear that little story I told when I was on a run from the police? We had
Your
one
joint
of your
freezing,
single. Your
Paul. If you
single
can
was.
hear me, I see you on the screen. Your joint freezing, bro.
Oh, it's freezing up on you.
Yeah, you going in and out. Am I clear?
Yeah, everything's clear on my end. It seems like the
Yeah,
connection's
you was
kind of
freezing a little
lagging
bit,
a
but
little
you
bit.
there now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the
Um,
trenches down in Ill Town, baby. So you know.
let's start here. The Rottin Rascals. Like, how did y'all form?
Yes, sir. Well, basically, myself and fam, like we go back to elementary school. We played on the same Pop Warner football team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we was always friends throughout the years. We got a little distance as we got older, but when I started rapping, like my man Mook from East Orange High, K's younger brother, took me to K, like, yo, bro, rap. I spit for him. He was feeling it. And it just so happened that fam was dating KG's sister, Angie. You know, so we used to
Okay.
be on the block, whatever. I write rhymes. I might get stuck for a half a second, and fam would be like, yo, here, give me a couple of bars. I'm like, you know what, that fit. You know what I mean? So eventually, I'm like, bro, you need to start rhyming. You always here when I'm writing and you putting your 2 cents in. He's like, no, I can't do that. To make a long story short, that's how the Rotten Rascals started as a group.
And who came up with the name?
Oh, Trigger Tretch.
Okay. Okay, that's what's up.
We was in Neo. I think it was the 1993 album.
Uh-huh.
The 1993 album, and we was like, we did a couple of songs, right? So he dropped the verse, and at the end of the verse, we was on the song and never came out. He was like, Ill Town Rotten Rascals. So me and fam just looked at each other because we was trying to figure out a name for the group, and we was like, "Oh, the Rotten Rascals. That sound like something."
Yeah. So y'all first appeared on the 1993 Knock 'em Out the Box song. How'd y'all guys end up on that song?
Well, just like I was telling you the story, Naughty was working on that album. Me and fam had just formulated the group really, and we did about maybe 3 cuts, I think, for that album. And Knock 'em Out the Box was the one that made it. I don't know what happened to the other joints, but previously before that, on the Flavor Unit compilation, Roll with the Flavor, we did a song. What was the name of that song? I think that was our first studio recording that we put out, well, what was heard to the mass public. Um, Enough's Enough, yeah. Enough's
Okay.
Enough was the name of the record.
So y'all featured on the album. What's the process like after that trying to get a record deal?
Well, basically, we were so loyal to the camp. You know, this was Naughty's second album they were working on, and
Uh-huh.
Kay was our producer and also our executive producer. So he took care of all the shopping the deals for us or whatever. And I got a tidbit maybe a couple of months ago that I was unaware of when he signed us to Mad Sounds, which is a division of Motown. He
Yeah.
didn't want to sign us to that label because he felt like, you know, they couldn't handle a hip hop group. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it came to fruition later that they couldn't. But you know, he was getting pressure from his brother Poop and from our road manager Ski because we had 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like he's like, yo, if you don't get him signed now, ain't no telling what'll happen to him because you know they doing some things they shouldn't be doing, and you don't want them to get cased up. So he wound up, you know, going with Motown Mad Sounds, and you know the rest is kind of history. They ain't really push us like we needed to be pushed, so a lot of people missed out on that music we put out.
Yeah, because I had a question further down. I guess I'll go ahead and ask it because I mean your singles charted very, very well.
Go ahead, we freestyling, baby.
Yeah, the singles charted very, very
Yeah, we
well,
did.
but it
We did
seemed like the
okay.
albums didn't chart as well. So was the marketing was totally lacking?
So I think it was one of two things. I think being a new division of hip hop, being based in
Uh-huh.
California, we was from Jersey, you know, right outside of New York. They really didn't know how to work us, right? But also, not long after we signed with that division, Mad Sounds, they folded. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
man.
people saw the ink on the wall and knew what was coming, so they only put what they put into it. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Now, the first album, it says producer Naughty by Nature on the discog. Uh so did KG do most of the beats though?
He did all the beats.
All the beats. All the beats.
He gave us some heat. He gave us some bangers.
Yeah, so he basically he produced Life of a Bastard too then, right?
Yup. Mm-hmm. He
That's
sure
actually
did.
one of my favorite
The
joints
whole
on
album.
there. That's one of my favorite joints on there. Now, what was the process of picking the single? Like who decided, "Oh yeah, was the joint?"
KG, he was the executive producer. I give you a little tidbit. I give you a little tidbit, right? So the second
Yeah.
single, Hey All Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the exclusive, Paul, because you my man's in them. All of North Kakalaka, right?
Yeah.
I hated that record. I didn't write that record for the Rottin Rascals. Like
Yeah.
he had a group which wound up being illegal with Jamal and Little Malik,
And
right?
Malik, yeah.
I wrote that record for them. Yeah, I wrote that record for them, right? It got kicked down the line. We tried to offer it to the youngsters, right? They ain't want it.
Yeah.
So K like, we gonna put that on your album. I'm like, no, we not. That ain't no Rascal record. He like, oh, it's going on there. I bet you it go on there. So I took a stance. Like I wrote the record. I took a stance.
Yeah.
Like, well, I ain't gonna perform it. So that's how Fan wound up performing the whole record.
And that's the second single, right? That's the one you're
Hey,
talking
all
about, the
right,
second
y'all. When
single?
we was on the
Yeah.
boat and the hat flew off and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So always wondered why you were never on that song, but that clarifies it. And I mean, if you ain't feeling a record, I don't think you should get on it.
I
You agree with
didn't.
that?
And hence you
Yeah.
see the record is performed by Fam did the performance on the record.
Now,
I ain't put no vocals on there.
what would you say is the main reason there was no follow-up album from you guys?
Well, actually it was, but it was underground and we released it on
Okay.
our own. Back at that time, we were selling it out the trunk. We were selling it on the tour while we was on tour with Naughty. The name of the
Uh-huh.
album was The Grizzly Grind. You can find it on the Rotten Rascals YouTube. And if you follow Rotten Rascals on
Okay.
all platforms, it's out there. I recently put it out a couple of years ago. We'll put it back out.
Okay. And so y'all basically pushed that independently, and then when streaming came about, y'all just added to like YouTube and stuff like that later?
Came out what?
I said y'all basically like put it out independently at first, and then later when the streaming platforms kind of hit out, decided to upload it later.
Yeah, because I found, I stepped away from the game for quite a while, bro, for my own personal reason. Because, like I said, in the CD form, we was selling it overseas when we was touring with Naughty, and through the internet, and social media, it was like a little demand for the record. And then when the streaming platforms came on, I figured out how to. So I put that out, and there's some other like exclusive joints that you never heard from the Rottin Razkals that's out right now. If you go on YouTube, make sure you subscribe Rottin Razkals YouTube or follow Rottin Razkals on your favorite streaming platform. You can hear the butters.
And I want to shout out my guy that just commented, James Harness. This is the guy who was on the run with me from the police when we only had your single, the King T, and the Boogie Man single. So I seen
Shout
now.
out to bro.
Are you and Tretch your brothers?
Yeah, that's my biological older brother
That's what
from the
I
same
thought.
mom.
So
Yeah,
you were around when they were new style, right?
absolutely.
Can you tell us about that some?
I was around when I was around when they was no style, and he used to be in the bathroom writing rhymes with his box because of the acoustics. And I used to stand outside the bathroom having to pee. He did not care neither. He wanted to write his rhymes in there because of the acoustics. Yeah, new style. It's funny that you mentioned that. Big up to Naughty by Nature. Congratulations, because today in our hometown, Illtown, East Orange, in the very park where we all hung out at, they got the basketball courts named after him. So it was a big day. Oh
Word.
no.
Now, you was on the Poverty Paradise album, correct?
I'm still there. Okay. Yeah. We
Did
did a
you get a
joint called
Gram?
Us Working on that joint.
Did you win a Grammy from that one?
Did I do?
Did you get a
I didn't
Grammy
win a
from that?
Grammy personally, but Naughty, that was a Grammy winning record from Naughty. Nah, I ain't get no Grammy.
So
I
featured
ain't get no
artists don't get
accolades, bro.
Grammys. Feature artists don't get Grammys like on a
I didn't get
album
it.
like
I
that.
don't know. I mean,
Cause
they
we
got it. But I didn't get one. You know what
yeah,
Q-Tip said. Industry rule number 4080. I don't know. I might have supposed to get one, Paul. We got
record
to look
companies
into
are
that.
shady. Yeah, cause Minnesota produced on that record. He said he got a Grammy, but I would think if you were featured on there, you should get a Grammy too.
Look at my face. Word, Minnesota got a Grammy. I ain't get no Grammy, school. I ain't get no Grammy.
Yeah, cause I just interviewed
Nah.
him recently, and when I asked him when he got the Grammy off, I thought it was the Big Pun record, and he said, "Nah, it was Naughty by Nature, Poverty's Paradise." And I totally forgot that they won a Grammy off of that.
Wow. Which record did he do?
I
Which
forgot
record
which
did he
record.
produce?
I forgot which one he produced. It wasn't one of the singles. It was definitely one of the album joints. Now,
It was an album
you
track.
yeah, it was an album track.
It was an album track, and he got a Grammy.
Yeah, yeah.
I think somebody owed me a Grammy, Paul. We gotta look into that.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I might have to get off here and Google some things when we get off this interview, and you might be. That's why I was
Facts.
asking. Like, I never knew a feature artist get Grammys on albums that get Grammys. I would think they should. I mean, that's just my opinion. So,
Yeah.
are
So
you in
you do the research, bro, and holla at your bro. Let me know. You heard?
Chap and Fam? Y'all still
Say
cool?
that again.
Are you and Chap and Fam still cool?
Yeah. Well, track. Yeah. So I'm sort of kind of an introvert. Nah, not sort of kind of I am, right? But Chap is like a hermit. Chap don't come
Okay.
outside. But I spoke to him not too long ago. That's still my man. I actually saw Fam today at the ceremony for the groundbreaking for the Naughty by Nature basketball court. We all cool. We just on our grown man doing what grown men do.
They don't do music at all no more.
Chap definitely not. I think Fam is doing beats, and shout out to my nephew Keezy. I heard he put a project out not too long ago. But as far as Rockin'. I think fam just doing beats now.
Okay. And
Which lead me to this.
go ahead.
My solo album, Diesel is Dope, is on platforms right now. Go Google it because it's hard to find. Diesel is Dope, my solo album I put out not too long ago, is out right now on all platforms.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you because I reviewed 2 songs and I was wondering if you were going to put out a whole album. And when did that release?
Oh, maybe like a year ago, if not like
Okay.
close to a year ago.
And who's
Yeah.
doing the
But if you
production?
ain't heard it,
You?
it's all brand new. So go check it out.
Are you doing the production?
No, I had some production from my man Kaz that passed away out of
Oh,
Mad
rest in
Bay
peace.
Studio. Um, my man Jack B got a banger on there, like it's a single. Dope. Diesel is dope, and my man Crazy K. The beats is banging on there. The whole joint is dope, if I must say so myself. Like check it out.
And do you plan to like continue releasing music in the future?
God damn connection is crazy. There you go.
Yeah, you plan on releasing music in the future?
Give a mic check.
You don't plan on releasing music in the future?
Yeah, so actually, I just recently released something. I just recently released a collaborative joint with Code Keepers, which just so happened that you remember Caclow, the Cruddy Click,
Uh yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
brother
yeah.
Mike Moore, aka Gut. Yeah, I just released a record called Code Keepers with them over the symphony beat. It's like a rendition. It's banging off kind of bonkers right now. You might need to check that out. The Code Keepers.
Now we had a few cats from Jersey on recently. We had a Pace One, we had Elder Sensei last week. Do you feel like
Hey,
do you feel like
hey, that's my
Jersey
guy.
Jersey gets overlooked a little too much in hip hop?
So initially back in the day when we was grinding, like the early to mid 90s, yeah. But Naughty kicked in the door, then came 235 more living rotten to the core. You had the Fugees, you had Artifacts, you got Redman, you got Pace One and the Outsiders. So Jersey staked this claim in hip hop history. Not to mention the Sugar Hill Gang. Like when I was a baby, like I didn't even know that back then they was from Jersey.
I didn't know that either.
See,
So
see.
Jersey, it definitely is like if New York was number one, we'd have to put Jersey at number two, right? Yo, you didn't hear me?
That jump froze again, Paul. You said if New York
Yeah,
was number one, if
we'd
you
had to
froze,
put
it said
Jersey at number two,
If New
right?
York was number one.
We'd had to put Jersey at number two, right?
So this is the thing. This is the thing, y'all down here in North Carolina. So
Yep.
more times than less, because of the regional and the closeness of proximity, Jersey gets clustered in right with New York. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, y'all right there, man. Y'all, I mean, it's like y'all go over the bridge, y'all right there.
20 minutes away from Manhattan. 20 minutes away from Manhattan. I could look out the door and see New York.
Now, can you speak on Naughty? Isn't Naughty like looking to try to get back together and do an album or something?
Well, they having their differences or whatever, and
That's
it's
what I
crazy because
heard.
Vince spoke on this together. They were all together earlier, right? He spoke on this earlier. Yeah, and anything is possible, bro. You know what I'm saying? They grown men, they grew certain different directions, but money is the law, and there's still money on the table, dude. So if money don't do it, I don't know what else will.
Yeah, and the fact that they're having issues, it just shows you that like any group can have issues in this business.
Absolutely. 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 You know what Biggie said, more money, more problems.
Yeah, because I've always said that Vin was like the ultimate like role player or guy that understood like the pecking order of things. I mean, it was Tretch. and then Vin, and he didn't mind that, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that they got issues is just like it's really crazy to me.
Yeah, you know them, the big bros, and shout out to all three of them. Tretch is my biological, but all them jokers is my brothers. So I don't really get too
Yeah.
much in the middle of what they got going on and what their differences is. You know what I mean? But like you as a fan, I hope they get it together and come back together and do what they need to do. Because it's still money on the word for them. It's still people asking to book them for shows and all types of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, did you listen to LL's album? Yo, did you check out LL's
Y'all
album?
listen to what?
LL Cool J's new album.
I did not actually. I didn't. I heard the cut he did with Fat Joe and I think it was Rick
Rick
Ross, but I
Ross?
did not check out
Yeah.
the whole album. Yeah, I heard that I think I forgot the name of it, but I did hear it.
It's called Force. It's doing very well. I mean, it goes to show LL's 50 something years old and he's still coming out and doing numbers. I mean, Naughty's still got, years left, man. If they just come back together and drop an
Yeah.
album
So
and
so it's
tour
interesting you
money.
say that because not to cut you off, it's interesting
Go
you say
ahead.
that because the hip hop we grew up on, that generational music is coming back, and that it's a demand for the old school artists, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So it's the evolution of hip hop. Because remember, they used to say after a certain age, you shouldn't be rapping no more. That's null and void now. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I've always said my philosophy is it's a young man's game to get on and it's an old man's game to stay on. That's always been my philosophy
Facts.
because,
Facts.
like, longevity has never always been a thing in this business, and
Right.
so you got to be a smart old man I mean, Eminem, a billion streams in 3 months. He's almost 50 years old if he's
Mm-hmm.
not already 50. LL drops. I mean, probably got one of the best albums of this year. Common and Pete Rock. I mean, I think they got the album of the year, to be
Right.
honest with you. And
Nas not too long ago. Nas put out
Nas,
something what last year?
yeah, he got he's on King's Disease like 4, I think, 5 now.
Four. Four, right?
Yes,
Yeah. It's a
there's
market for it.
definitely a demand. No, because people are tired of this
Right.
repetitive sound, man. Like it's getting old, man.
Right.
It's
Right.
getting old. It's
Right.
getting old.
And what a lot of people outside of you and I don't realize, like that's not coming from us. That's some jokers in the corporate boardroom determining what they gonna push. And so when the artists see that, they try to emulate that sound because
Yeah.
they know that's what's being pushed. It ain't from the heart, but you got LL and the jokers from our generation and our era pushing the sincere music from the heart. And it came back around to that.
Would you agree that it's way more copycat than ever nowadays?
Oh yeah, it's no originality.
Yeah, none.
You have to have style and learn to be original, or everybody's gonna want to dish you. Now it's the opposite. Like you got to come sounding like the next man.
Yeah, I mean, I've always kind of blamed the beat software. Like I think people got away from the keyboards a little too much, like the ASR 10s and the Tritons and stuff like that. And once they went to straight software, to me, it like limited the sounds and what they knew how to use or what they were using, in my opinion.
So
Um,
that's only one spectrum. Like you got to think about the lyrics and the song material too, though. So that don't
yeah,
got nothing to do with the technology of beat making. You know what I mean?
yeah, the
Like
lyrics is definitely
I'm 50 years old.
go
I
ahead.
don't want to hear no more kill 'em, bang bang.
Yeah, and Chuck D was talking about that, like when rappers get like to a certain age, like how you still rapping this gangster and this thug stuff, man. Like we know you like probably married with
Right,
kids by now,
right.
settling down.
That part, bro. I got to get up and stretch every morning just to get it going. I ain't talking no gangster talk, bro. Go ahead with that, man.
And I know you we pushed the interview back to 7:30 and whatnot. because of prayer and whatnot. So your spiritual journey, how long you been on that?
Well, like, man, I think I not too long after we put the project out, maybe like 1997, I converted to Islam and I really started practicing it heavy, probably about 20 years ago. So yeah, the spiritual journey, man. Yup. That's all growth and maturity, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you familiar with Rex, right?
Who's that?
Rex. You familiar with Rex? Reks.
Where he from? Jersey? Nah, I don't think
I
so.
think he's from New York. Actually, he's an underground cat. He's been doing his thing for a while. We interviewed him recently, and he been on a spiritual journey for a while. Very very spiritual man with it, man. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I
yeah,
think anything that puts anybody in a positive mind state is the winner winner chicken dinner, man. I don't care what it is. I don't knock nobody's religion. I grew up in the
right.
church, you know what I'm saying, but I think like everybody got to have a positive mindset, especially going with the way the world's going right now. And how do you feel about that, man?
Yeah,
Like the country, man. The country kind of like
yeah, I
we
agree
kind
with
of
you
went
totally.
backwards, right?
It, it's so much like it's so much going on in the world today that they keeping us distracted from, bro. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? We worried about Trump and Harris and Diddy, but what are they doing? There's something going on that they distracting us from, bro. And it's good and evil, no matter if you're religious or not. You can clearly see that today's era is good and evil, and it's a struggle going on, bro. Like, so you got to be
Yeah.
connected and grounded.
I was watching a movie today and they said something in the movie where the guy said, "Nobody cares if the news is true anymore. They only care if it's entertaining." And I was like, that is so true today, man. They just
Yeah,
care if
yeah,
the
yeah.
news is entertaining.
All this right. So look, to touch, not to get too political, because you know people be getting their feelings, but all this side or that side, him or her, it's all, they all connected to the same bird, bro. They answer to the
Yeah.
same people, and a lot of people don't realize that all of the major media outlets is owned by the same individuals, bro. So
Yeah.
they just keeping us separated to keep our attention away from what they doing, because if we start paying attention to what they doing, they have beef with us all. So they keeping us separated, man. Divide and conquer.
Yeah, I would say their plan is working far better than it has in my lifetime. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sign of the times, bro. It's a sign of the times, man. Remember the Matrix, bro?
Yeah.
The Matrix wasn't just a movie, bro. The Matrix, the Wizard of Oz is all connected, bro. Like, cause this alternate reality we live in, it ain't really real, bro. Especially now with the social media and the technology, bro. This ain't real.
Even the money system is part of the matrix. I mean, it's just a piece of paper with some white dudes' faces on it that we put some value to that doesn't really have value at all.
Yup. It's all fraud.
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's the thing. I think hip hop is really shedded a lot of light on those topics more than most genres. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. But that's why. So listen, I'm glad you said that. Hip hop, right? That's why they corporatized and came with rap. Rap and hip hop is totally different, right?
Yep.
So they pushing this rap because the rap is going to keep you away from the hip hop that will set you free. They can control you with this rap. Wear this, buy that, act like this, wear a ski mask, kill the ops, spin the block. They controlling you
Yeah.
subliminally. But hip hop is talking freedom. Hip hop is speaking from here and here. So they got that underground. You understand what I'm saying?
And hip hop's supposed to be about unity too. And there's a lot of divisive
Facts.
topics out there. Even like I think Lord Jamar, when he brought up the thing about the Puerto Ricans, I felt like it wasn't necessary. I felt like it was just divisive. It wasn't a topic. It wasn't nothing that anybody was discussing, man, until Karis one says something and then one person feels the need to reply, you know. I just think
So
like
this is it. This is what it is. We could agree to disagree, right?
yeah,
Because that promotes good conversation, right?
yeah,
But as long as it don't go left, you know what I mean? I think it's all positive, bro. You have an opinion, I have an opinion. We put our both opinions on the table. But at the end of the day, that's all it is opinion because nobody was right there to see, you know what I mean, the very roots and beginning. We going off of what we told, and everything that we told wasn't accurate. So KRS-One is telling it from what he heard. Jamar is telling it from what he heard because, you know, them brothers a little than me, but I'm quite sure they wasn't right there with Cool Herc when everything was popping off. You feel me?
yeah. I think the problem I have with that is the times are so sensitive that anything divisive just triggers and it tends to go
Hmm.
left. And that's why you see like cats like Crazy Legs and what's my man the Puerto Rican Thurston Howe. They still, they still gotta talk about it because I mean, it's just a device. It's just another like way to divide. I think hip hop in general. Even like with the lady asking Method Man, like, do you think this reflects on hip hop with Diddy? And it's like, what are we doing here, man? Like, just because a guy made hip hop, we gotta vilify all of hip hop. You still there, Diesel? Can you hear me?
So you got to know it's their. Can you hear me,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Paul?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You lost me. All right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, it
I
froze for a
was
little bit.
saying, I was saying that's their job. Yeah, that's their job to keep us divided, bro, and it's our job to keep us unified, bro. You know what I mean? So they gonna do their part to keep us where they want us at, right? And we got to do our part to get to where we need to be.
Yep.
You know, free of their grip, so we can practice our art form the way we want to practice it.
Well, I appreciate you taking time out your schedule, man. Any shout outs you want to do before we let you go?
Appreciate you having me.
Yep.
Appreciate your platform, you sharing this platform with me. Shout out to Naughty by Nature. Shout out to Code Keeper. Shout out to Biko Black. Shout out to Illtown East Orange. Shout out to everybody in the sound of my voice. Follow me on Instagram, The Real Diesel MC. Like and subscribe to YouTube channel Rottin Razkals. There's a whole lot of work on there, including my solo album and the Code Keeper song I was talking about. Shout out to East Orange Campus Jaguars, for whom I am a coach, and we playing our rivals Montclair tomorrow. We're gonna put our foot so far up in there. You know what I'm saying? And again, thanks to you. I appreciate you, bro.
Oh, somebody wanted to ask a question. They commented real quick. They said, I was gonna ask Diesel, is he
Uh-huh.
still in contact with Cruddy Click?
Yeah, so like I was saying, I am still in contact with Cruddy
Yeah.
Click. I saw both of them today. And the song Code Keepers is out on Rotten Rascal platform right now. Gutter from Cruddy Click leads off the record. So check that out. It's called Code Keepers. Who that?
Yeah,
John Jones. I saw that piece of Jersey. Peace, peace, peace.
yeah, John Jones and Chris Porterfield, just some hip hop heads from Fayettenam out here.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. We got a lot of love from the Cackalackas back in the day, man.
Of
Go
course,
on
of course.
YouTube and check it out.
Of course, man. North Carolina,
Yeah.
man. We loved everybody from New York, man.
Yo, y'all
And
showed a lot of
Jersey,
love,
and
bro, and I ain't
Jersey,
forget.
and Jersey, and Philly, and Boston. I mean, we loved everybody. West Coast,
Yeah,
Texas,
yeah. And y'all was
Midwest.
on some real hip hop.
Yeah,
Y'all was
yeah.
on some real hip hop.
Yep. Well, appreciate you, man. Enjoy
Thank
the rest
you.
of your night, man.
You too, you too. Also,
Go
Bang
ahead.
Bang Niner Gang.
Oh, okay. You're a 49er fan. Okay.
Look in the video. Oh yeah, video. I got the 49er shirt on back when Ricky Waters and them won the Super Bowl.
I didn't realize that. Yeah. I'm gonna go check that out
Yo, Paul,
again.
I appreciate you having me on, bro. Check, look, because I know you a hip hop head, bro.
Yeah.
It's a lot of new releases on that Rotten Rascal YouTube. Check them out. Holler back at me.
Okay.
Let me know what you think, bro.
Will do, man. And I'm gonna keep in
Peace and
touch,
love.
man.
Yes, sir. Make sure you do. Peace and love, y'all.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Well, there we have it. Another one in the books. Diesel from Rottin Razkals. I was literally on the run, man, at age 16. Only had three cassette singles. It was King T, Boogeyman, and the Rottin Razkals. Oh yeah, we played the hell out of that record over and over again, man. Definitely love the energy on that record. Was a little lag in the interview. I think because it seemed like he was on a laptop, and when you're on a laptop, you got to throw on the headphones. You got to have headphones on, and I actually should have caught that, but it was probably last minute. Um, Appreciate John Jones and Chris Porterfield for tuning in. Appreciate everybody on Instagram. Before I go, I want to talk about, I guess, the news of the week, the Diddy shit. Um, I don't want to speculate at all. I will say that it's not looking good for Diddy based on the charges. It's not looking good. You got Boosie out here saying he's getting locked up for what every other celebrity entertainer is doing. Well, I hope not if the allegations are true. Cause what they're saying, they're not just saying Diddy's like flying chicks out, like he's flying some chick out just to have sex. They said that he was sex trafficking, which means prostitution ring. Um, I know, like, when you do any crime across state lines, it's far worse. It's far worse. The time is worse. The years they add on are worse. Um, I know this. I don't want to, like, people are praying for his downfall. They want to kick him while he's down. They literally had the documentary, The Downfall of Diddy, before he even gets locked up. Um, like, I like to wait till somebody's like fully, found guilty what they charges before I just like decide, hey, let me go ahead and speak on these assumptions and these allegations. I do know that people are trying to make a connection with all these CEOs that pretty much decided they were going to step down, like Kevin Lyle. It's not, and that's the thing, it's not even music industry CEOs. Like Kevin Lyle stepped down, and people are trying to, tie that in with a Diddy. All these other CEOs that pretty much stepped down all at once, and all these other businesses, they saying that they're pretty much, it's all Diddy related. I'm not gonna lie, the timing is awkward and weird, but it's not looking good for Diddy. Racketeering, um, sex trafficking. I mean, that's pretty much like prostitution ring, kidnapping. When you start getting kidnapping charges, oh man, like you looking at years. You're looking at years. So I will say this. If Diddy ends up like dying soon or something like that, man, there's no way, no how you're gonna make me believe that he committed suicide. There's no way, no how you're gonna make me believe that he committed suicide. Um, I heard where he's locked up at isn't really the best place to be locked up out federally. I heard there's a lot of killings going on in there, and it's pretty rough. So, like John Jones said, no bail is serious. Um, no bail is serious. Especially when you're talking about somebody who offered $50 million bail. Yeah, that's serious. But I'm not one to kick a man while he's down. I don't wish and pray on nobody's downfall. Um, I don't wish death on my worst enemies, which I don't really got enemies, but I don't wish death on nobody. I don't wish uh I don't really wish prison time on nobody, but if you do the crime, be prepared to do the time because society has laws. Even though I don't agree with man's law, all of man's laws, I probably don't agree with most of man's laws. I follow them just for the simple fact they have consequences. I'm not dumb enough to say I'm gonna break all these laws and risk my freedom because I enjoy not being in jail. I spent one night in jail in my life, and it was the most degrading shit ever. It's the most degrading shit ever. Grown man stripping you down, butt ass naked, watching you shower. They throw me in a cell with one bunk, one toilet, three heads, three people in one bunk, one toilet. The most degrading shit ever. Dudes sitting there watching dudes piss and take shits in front of each other. Two motherfuckers sleeping on the floor, one motherfucker sleeping on the bunk. And I actually lucked out and got the bunk because the dude was sleeping on the floor, which was crazy to me. Like, why would you not take the bunk? Why would you just sleep on the floor? Maybe I something about the bunk I didn't know. You know, maybe something about the bunk that I totally didn't know because it was my first night in jail. But like, yeah, man, that shit is so degrading. Little ass cell, you can't move nowhere. Literally can't get no sleep your first night in jail unless you're somebody who's just like lived in jail most of your life and you're just used to it. I mean, it's like up all night, can't get no sleep, don't even want to eat nothing, don't want to gotta shit, don't want to shit in front of nobody because it's degraded, man. It's just so degraded, man. So yeah, man. It's not looking good for Diddy. Not looking good. The charges are serious. The feds say they got enough information. When the feds come after you, man, it's never looking good. It's never ever looking good. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, man. Appreciate Diesel from the Rotten Rascals coming on tonight. As you heard, he's actually the biological brother of Tretch. So he's been there for the whole Naughty by Nature movement when they were New Styles, Naughty by Nature, the first album, second album, and KG was executive producer, produced the whole album for the Rotten Rascals, and they're very significant to my life because it was one of the only songs I had to listen to when I was on the run for the police. And this is around the time when Natural Born Killers came out because we literally watched that movie like back to back in a hotel room in Cedar Creek while we was on the run for the police. You know what I'm saying, for like a week. And I'm not gonna criminate myself with whatever charges that I was on the run for. But even though there's a statute of limitation, because I was like 16 years old and now I'm 45, so it's not like they could lock me up. But I'm not in the business of you know putting my dirt out there like that. Even though I did live a life of crime as a young buck, following other people's leads. But thanks again to Diesel. As soon as I get off here, I'm gonna start clipping up some clips, and I think the interview will come out straight because even though there was a lag, I was able to kind of just pause and wait till he catches the lag and basically been able to answer the questions thoroughly. And definitely gonna keep in touch with Diesel and go check out the album, like you said, on Rotten Rascals YouTube. Said they got new music on there, and the second album was actually released on there that a lot of people might not have known about. Appreciate y'all tuning in for another episode. And don't forget tomorrow, music reviews. Music reviews tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time. 3 p.m. Eastern time, we're doing music reviews. And I'm definitely not going to do as many songs as I did yesterday. That's for sure. Well, appreciate y'all tuning in. Everybody tuning in on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Peace, and I'm out.